Most people have no idea how much of an impact a machine gun can have in open combat. There are weapons that don't just fire bullets. They shift the entire balance of a battle through sheer psychological, tactical, and destructive force. Throughout modern history, military engineers have created true war machines. Weapons capable of firing hundreds, sometimes thousands of rounds per minute, with enough power to bring down aircraft, punch through armored vehicles, and hold entire lines under constant fire. But what exactly makes a machine gun powerful? Is it the fire rate, the caliber, the reliability under stress, or maybe just the intimidating sound it makes when it opens fire? The truth is, it's all of that. Power, precision, design, and above all, legacy. Because these weapons aren't just tools of war, they're icons of military engineering and in many cases, symbols of entire eras. In today's video, we're diving into the most powerful machine guns ever invented. Models that defined wars, became legends in elite units, and left behind a trail of respect and destruction wherever they were deployed. Stick around to the end, because the final weapon on this list is so massive, so extreme, it barely qualifies as portable. It was designed to destroy tanks, aircraft, and entire compounds. And the most insane part? It actually did. FN Minimi M249. Born in the heart of Europe, the FN Minimi was developed by Belgian manufacturer FN Herstal in the 1970s with a very clear purpose: to boost individual firepower without sacrificing mobility. In the US, it was adopted as the M249 SAW squad automatic weapon and became a cornerstone of modern infantry combat. The design was meant to be lightweight, versatile, and reliable, blending the suppressive capability of a machine gun with the maneuverability of an assault rifle. And it worked so well that it ended up being used in over 30 countries in everything from urban skirmishes to desert warfare. The M249 fires the NATO standard 5.56mm round using a gas-operated rotating bolt system. It has a fire rate of up to 1,000 rounds per minute. But what really stands out is how well it balances speed with control. Weighing around 15 pounds, 7 kilograms, it can be fed via belt or standard M16 magazines, giving it unmatched flexibility in combat. Its effective range is about 500 to 600 meters, especially accurate when deployed with a bipod. In action, it provides continuous suppressive fire that can keep entire enemy squads pinned. The recoil is moderate and well distributed. The sound? Sharp and metallic, almost like a mechanical buzz that dominates the field. Its folding stock and built-in carry handle make it practical for long missions. Its overall look screams 1980s battlefield tech, rugged, reliable, and with plenty of modern upgrades like rail systems. The M249 has seen heavy action in the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq. It earned such a reputation for reliability that even Special Forces units chose to customize it rather than replace it. In fact, during its early field trials, US soldiers reported preferring it over the M16 in real combat, citing its durability and sustained firepower. Impressed with what this compact beast can do? Just wait until you see the next one. A battle-hardened veteran known for holding the line on every front. FN Mag/M240. The FN Mag, known in the US military as the M240, needs no introduction. Since it was first developed in the 1950s by the same FN Herstal that built the Minimi, this machine gun has become known for a rare combination of reliability, toughness, and raw firepower. It's the kind of weapon that works in desert heat, Arctic cold, sand, mud. Wherever the soldier goes, it follows. MAG stands for Mitrailleuse d'Appui Général, or General Purpose Machine Gun. The name fits perfectly. The M240 is the American version of this European classic and has been in active service since 1977, playing a role in nearly every major US military operation in the last 40 years. Chambered in the hard-hitting 7.62mm NATO round, it's belt-fed and can fire between 600 and 900 rounds per minute. Its effective range? Over 1,800 meters. More than enough to dominate at long range. Weighing in at around 26 pounds, 12 kilograms, it's not the lightest gun around, but it's perfect for vehicle mounts, fixed positions, or heavy infantry teams. It's gas-operated, fires from an open bolt, and is air-cooled, allowing it to fire long bursts without overheating. In real combat, the M240 has been mounted on Humvees, helicopters, boats, and carried by ground troops with bipods. It's just as versatile as it is reliable. The body is all business, a no-nonsense, metal chassis with a long, reinforced barrel made to withstand heat and abuse. The firing sound is deep and rhythmic, almost like a mechanical hammer pounding the battlefield. The recoil is heavy, but manageable thanks to its own weight and design. It's been used in the Gulf War, Bosnia, Afghanistan, Iraq, and countless special ops missions. And even though it looks straightforward, it's known globally as one of the most reliable machine guns ever made. Some reports even claim M240s ran for weeks in the field with minimal maintenance and kept firing. Today, it's still in service across dozens of nations, with modernized versions featuring optics, rails, and remote firing systems, proving that even a design from the 50s can still lead the charge in the 21st century. If the Minimi was built to support the soldier, the M240 was made to hold the line, and that's exactly what it does, better than most. MG3. Few machine guns carry the historical weight of the MG3. Produced by German arms manufacturer Rheinmetall, starting in the 1950s, the MG3 is actually a direct evolution of the infamous MG42, the machine gun the Allies feared most in World War II. Nicknamed Hitler's buzzsaw, the MG42 was known for its terrifying rate of fire. The MG3 keeps that same spirit, but with modern upgrades that make it one of the fastest, deadliest guns on the battlefield today. It uses the 7.62mm NATO round and can fire an outrageous 1,200 rounds per minute. That's so fast, the gun sounds like a continuous buzz. You can barely distinguish individual shots. This makes its psychological impact just as intense as its physical damage. When the MG3 starts firing, you find cover. Instantly. It's belt-fed, short recoil operated, and fires from an open bolt. Its effective range is around 1,200 meters, with accuracy and dependability to match. It weighs just over 24 pounds, 11 kilograms, so it requires strength to carry, but it's still mobile enough for support teams and fixed defenses. Visually, it's pure intimidation. Long steel body, perforated barrel sleeve, foldable carry handle. It can be mounted on tripods, armored vehicles, turrets, or deployed by a single gunner with a bipod. It's so reliable that some armies still use MG3s that are over 30 years old and still operational. Countries like Germany, Italy, Turkey, Pakistan, and Greece still use them actively. The MG3 has seen combat in the Middle East, the Balkans, and countless UN missions. Despite its age, it's constantly upgraded with rails, optics, and quick change parts to keep it lethal. A lesser-known fact? The MG3 is still used as the coaxial machine gun inside modern Leopard 2 tanks, showing that even with drones and digital warfare, raw mechanical power still matters. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the world's most powerful machine guns, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell, because what comes next only gets better. PKM. When it comes to battlefield durability, the PKM isn't just a machine gun, it's a legend. Designed by none other than Mikhail Kalashnikov, the same man behind the iconic AK-47, the PKM emerged in the 1960s as a replacement for the aging RP-46, and almost instantly it became the backbone of Soviet infantry forces. The name stands for Pulemyot Kalashnikova Modernizirovanny, which translates to Modernized Kalashnikov Machine Gun, and it lives up to every word. It fires the 7.62 by 54mm R cartridge, a powerful, hard-hitting round also used in rifles like the Mosin Nagant. That means excellent penetration, great range, and lethal impact. It's gas-operated, belt-fed with a rotating bolt and capable of firing between 600 and 800 rounds per minute. The effective range is up to 1,000 meters, which is impressive for a general-purpose machine gun. But the real genius of the PKM is in its extreme simplicity. Despite its power, it weighs only about 16.5 pounds, 7.5 kilograms, making it one of the lightest machine guns in its class. That means mobility. Fast movement through forests, hills, cities, or deserts. It's the perfect weapon for a doctrine that prioritized speed, firepower, and minimal logistics, just like the Soviet military strategy of the Cold War. The PKM's look is pure function over form. Thin metal frame, matte finish, wooden or polymer stock, and a built-in bipod. The top-mounted carry handle and side-mounted ammo drum give it a Spartan, no-nonsense vibe. It sounds sharp and aggressive when firing, with a consistent rhythm that commands attention. Recoil is strong, but well managed, especially when fired in short bursts or from a rest. Over the decades, the PKM has been used in dozens of conflicts, from Vietnam and Afghanistan to Chechnya and the Middle East. It became a symbol of resistance and guerrilla warfare, used by both national armies and insurgent groups. Believe it or not, the PKM has even been used by Western Special Forces units, simply because of its reliability in extreme conditions. You've also seen it everywhere in pop culture, video games, war movies, documentaries. Its silhouette and sound are instantly recognizable. And even after more than 50 years in service, the PKM is still deployed by armies around the world, a testament to just how perfectly it was built. If the PKM is a tribute to Russian engineering that favors practicality and toughness, the next machine gun is a relic from World War II that proves the old school still packs a serious punch. DSHK 1938. Born at the end of the 1930s, the DSHK, known in Russian slang as Dushka, is a true beast of the battlefield. Designed by Soviet engineers Vasily Degtyaryov and Georgy Shpagin, its full name is Degtyaryova Shpagina Krupnokaliberny, or Degtyaryov-Shpagin Heavy Caliber Machine Gun. And it's heavy in every sense of the word. Weighing over 75 pounds, 34 kilograms, this gun was built to bring down armored vehicles, aircraft, and fortifications. It fires the 12.7 by 108 millimeter round, a massive cartridge with raw kinetic power. The DSHK is gas-operated, uses a rotating bolt, and feeds from a 50-round belt. It fires at about 500 to 600 rounds per minute, with an effective range of up to 2,000 meters, an insane distance for a gun from the 1930s. It features a long barrel with air cooling, and certain anti-aircraft versions were even water-cooled for prolonged firing. Visually, it's intimidating. Big metal frame, tripod-mounted or vehicle-mounted, with a signature flared muzzle brake that makes it instantly recognizable. The sound is deep and thunderous, each shot like a mechanical explosion. Recoil is massive, so the DSHK is never fired from the shoulder. It requires proper support and usually a team of two to operate effectively. During World War II, it was used to shoot down planes, destroy light tanks, and shred through infantry advances. But it didn't stop there. The DHK stayed in service through Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and numerous African and Middle Eastern conflicts. In the Soviet-Afghan War of the 1980s, it was one of the few weapons that Afghan fighters could use effectively against Soviet helicopters, proving its enduring effectiveness. Today, even though it's technically obsolete, the DSHK still shows up in active war zones, used by militias, second-tier armies, and paramilitary groups. Some of these guns are over 80 years old and still work flawlessly. That kind of durability is almost unheard of. And if the DSHK proved that a well-designed weapon can last generations, the next machine gun has nearly a century of respect behind it, and it's still in active duty today. Browning M2. If there's one machine gun that truly earns the title of living legend, it's the Browning M2. Designed at the end of World War I by the legendary American firearms genius John Browning, this 50 caliber heavy machine gun has outlived wars, presidents, and entire generations of military hardware. Officially adopted in 1921, the M2 is still used in active combat by dozens of militaries around the world. What makes it so special? Raw power, The 50 BMG round is capable of punching through light armor, concrete, vehicle engines, and even low-flying aircraft. It fires at 450 to 600 rounds per minute, with an effective range of up to 1,800 meters, more than enough to dominate wide-open battlefields. The M2 is short recoil operated and fires from a closed bolt using a metallic belt feed. The recoil is massive, but this isn't a shoulder weapon. It's mounted on tripods, vehicles, naval platforms, aircraft, wherever raw destructive firepower is needed. The look of the M2 is pure dominance. A massive frame, long barrel, side-mounted ammo box, this gun was built to last. When it fires, the sound is low and powerful. Unlike lighter machine guns, the M2 doesn't rattle, it thunders, with each shot feeling like a cannon blast. In real-world use, the M2 has seen combat in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, Afghanistan, Iraq, you name it. It's been mounted on everything from jeeps and helicopters to fighter jets and boats. And here's the kicker. The US military has tried multiple times to replace it with newer models. Every time the M2 stays, because nothing beats the combination of range, durability, and sheer impact it delivers. Some newer versions now include remote controls, electronic sights, and thermal optics, but the core of the weapon is still the same as it was a century ago. If the M2 represents the peak of classic American weapons design, the next entry is Russia's answer to high-powered machine guns, a newer beast that's still feared across modern battlefields. Cord. The Cord is the direct successor to the Soviet-era NSV heavy machine gun. Officially introduced in the 1990s by the Russian Federation, the Cord took everything the NSV was and made it better. It kept the powerful 12.7 by 108 mm caliber, but improved the barrel, recoil system, accuracy, and portability, making it one of the most advanced heavy machine guns still in use. It fires up to 700 rounds per minute and has an effective range of about 2,500 meters. It's belt-fed, short recoil operated, and can be fired from a tripod or mounted on armored vehicles, boats, and stationary platforms. At a little over 66 pounds, 30 kilograms, the Cord is considered light for a heavy machine gun, and that gives it tactical flexibility. Visually, the Cord looks futuristic and menacing. Reinforced barrels, a more ergonomic structure, and compatibility with modern optics, night vision, and smart targeting systems. The sound of it firing is loud, sharp, and incredibly intimidating. In real combat, it's used to suppress enemy infantry, destroy light vehicles, defend key positions, and cover wide zones. You'll find it active in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, across Russian ground forces, and in allied countries throughout Eastern Europe and Central Asia. What's not widely known is that the Cord was actually engineered with an optional shoulder stock, allowing it to be fired without a mount. A crazy idea for a weapon this size, but one that shows how far Russian design has come in making heavy firepower more mobile. If you're into historic, powerful, or just plain insane weapons like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because what's coming up next is even more jaw-dropping. GU-19 XM307. The GU-19, also known in some configurations as the XM307, is where machine guns start to leave the realm of realism and cross into straight-up madness. Developed by General Electric and later refined by General Dynamics, this weapon was built for one purpose: continuous, absolute firepower. With 3 rotating barrels and an electrically powered firing system, the GU-19 is the pinnacle of vehicle-mounted lethality. Chambered in the massive .50 BMG, 12.7 by 99 mm, the GU-19 can unleash up to 2,000 rounds per minute. But this isn't chaotic fire. It's controlled, focused, and absolutely devastating. It's designed to destroy light vehicles, low-flying aircraft, fast boats, and any structure that isn't fully armored. With an effective range beyond 2,000 meters and incredible armor penetration, this thing wipes targets clean off the map. Visually, it's terrifying. 3 heavy barrels locked together, reinforced housing, belt-fed ammunition, and an electrical motor that spins them like a turbine. The sound is unmistakable. A deep, continuous roar that sounds more like a jet engine than a machine gun. Once it starts spinning, there's no pause. It's a wall of lead that obliterates everything in its path. The Ju-19 is mostly mounted on Black Hawk helicopters, heavily modified Humvees, naval patrol boats, and fixed emplacements. It's also been integrated into automated defense turrets for base protection. An advanced version was tested with thermal imaging and automated target tracking, essentially turning it into a semi-autonomous weapon system. One fact most people don't know: during combat operations in Afghanistan, the Ju-19 was tested with a mix of explosive, incendiary, and armor-piercing rounds. This combo was so effective that reinforced enemy hideouts in mountain caves were completely demolished in under 2 seconds of fire. If the Ju-19 already sounds like something from a sci-fi war movie, the next weapon is even more iconic. It's been on battlefields, in movies, in video games, and its reputation is built on pure destruction. M134 minigun. The M1134 minigun is arguably the most iconic machine gun in modern pop culture. With 6 rotating barrels, an electric motor, and an aggressive design, it's become a symbol of high-speed devastation. Developed in the 1960s by General Electric, the minigun brought the 19th-century Gatling concept into the modern era, firing 5.56mm NATO rounds at speeds that barely seem real. This weapon can unleash up to 6,000 rounds per minute. That's 100 bullets every second. It's not built for accuracy. It's built to erase everything in its path. With an effective range of about 1,000 meters, the minigun creates a literal wall of bullets that's impossible to challenge in open terrain. The M134 is electrically powered and typically weighs over 30 kilograms, around 65 pounds, when factoring in the gun, motor, and ammunition. There are portable configurations, but they're rare and usually deployed with heavy support. It's most often seen mounted on helicopters, gun trucks, boats, or security towers. Visually, it's unmatched. 6 barrels spinning at full speed, a massive ammo drum, and a reinforced frame designed for non-stop punishment. The sound it makes is legendary, a high-pitched mechanical roar that grows louder with every rotation. And the impact on enemy morale? Devastating. When the minigun starts up, it's game over. During the Vietnam War, miniguns were mounted on UH-1 Huey helicopters for aerial suppression. The result? Entire jungle clearings swept clean in seconds. And in more recent conflicts like Iraq and Afghanistan, they'd been installed on tactical vehicles to escort convoys. Often, just seeing the gun was enough to deter ambushes before they even happened. If the M134 seems over the top, just wait. Because the number 1 spot on this list is something so massive, so insane, an entire aircraft had to be built around it. And that's not an exaggeration. GAU-8 Avenger. The GAU-8 Avenger isn't just the most powerful machine gun ever built. It's a flying cannon of war. Developed in the 1970s by General Electric, the GAU-8 is the centerpiece of the legendary A-10 Thunderbolt II, also known as the Warthog. And get this, the gun was designed first, the plane was built around it. This absolute monster of a weapon has 7 rotating barrels and fires the gigantic 30 by 173mm round. To give you a sense of scale, each projectile is roughly the size of a wine bottle. Rate of fire? Up to 4,200 rounds per minute. But here, every single round is a high-explosive, armor-shredding event. This weapon wasn't made to suppress infantry, it was made to destroy tanks. The GAU-8's effective range exceeds 4,000 meters, and its accuracy is surgical when fired in controlled bursts. It doesn't just hit targets, it eats them. And the recoil? So powerful that it had to be engineered into the A-10's frame, which is designed to counterbalance and absorb the force. The sound it produces is one of the most terrifying in modern warfare. Because the shells are moving faster than the speed of sound, they hit the target before you hear the gunfire. On the ground, you'll see destruction first, and then hear that deep mechanical brrr echo across the battlefield. It's pure psychological warfare. The GAU-8 alone weighs over 4,000 pounds, almost 2,000 kilograms, fully loaded. Its drum holds up to 1,200 rounds, but due to the weapon's rate of fire, that's only enough for a few seconds of carnage. And yet, In those seconds, it can level an armored column. Even though it's tech from the 1970s, the GAY U8 is still in active service today, because nothing else does what it does. And the A-10, despite multiple attempts to retire it, remains one of the most feared and effective aircraft on Earth. The GAY U8 isn't just a machine gun, it's a statement, a flying warhammer, a symbol of what happens when you push engineering to its absolute limit. Today we explored weapons that were rare, historic, lethal, and even downright bizarre, but every one of them had a story to tell. From the FN Minimi to the flying cannon known as the GAY U8, we saw how the evolution of warfare has always revolved around one thing: dominating the battlefield with power, precision, and presence. These aren't just machine guns, they're symbols of strategy, conflict, technological mastery, and eras that shaped history. They're proof that metal, fire, and design can change the course of war. So now it's your turn. Drop a comment below. Which one of these weapons impressed you the most? Which one would you want to see up close, or even own, if you could? If you're into content like this, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and stay locked in, because every week we bring you the most powerful, unique, and fascinating weapons the world has ever seen. See you in the next video.